Folks, we're back here live at Netroots Nation. I got a little distracted. They're talking about breaking stuff down. I know they're going to kick me out of here. But we're here with Gerline Joseph from the Haitian Bridge Alliance. Is that correct? Tell us, if you would, about the Haitian Bridge Alliance.
Of people of African descent. We provide humanitarian assistance at the U.S.-Mexico border. We do legal advocacy, organizing, and pushing for the change that we really need to see in the United States and around the world.
So, but again, this primarily deals with our sisters and brothers from Haiti, correct?
It's all Black immigrants.
Oh, really?
Yes, all Black immigrants. We started as really supporting the Haitians that we met, then realized we had people from Cameroon, from Sierra Leone, from Jamaica, from Panama, from Honduras, from around the world, who just simply because of their skin color are double criminalized, and really trying to see how do we bring that to light.
Because the face of immigration that the right uses all the time is always Latino.
Yes.
And so we don't get to hear the stories about our sisters and brothers from throughout the diaspora, unfortunately.
Yes. And that is why we really want to center that immigration is a right issue. Immigration is a Black issue. Immigration is a human right issue. Immigration is a social and racial justice issue. Because many times people don't really realize how much Black immigrants contribute and are part of the very fabric of the United States. Most people, we talk about Shirley Chisholm all the time as the first Black woman congressperson, the first Black woman who dared to step up to the place and become a candidate for a major political party. But we always forget that she is an immigrant. Right, her the immigrant background, immigrant story is never a part of the conversation, because once we come to the United States, we become Black America.
That's very true. Although that's not as much case as used to be when it comes to some of our Spanish-speaking, some of the sister brothers. I watch baseball.
Yes.
And Roberto Clemente identified as Black.
Yes.
But a lot of these guys, I think they tell them, don't identify with them when you go there. Unfortunately, but that's a whole nother conversation.
It is. That's the divide and conquer, right? Because, and I'll be honest with you, there is this big divide between immigrants and people of African descent, or formerly enslaved people in the United States, is the fact that the image that is being sold of Black Americans is so demonizing that we come and see, oh, this is not something you want to be associated with.
Right.
So that is what they use to distract, divide, and conquer, because they know when we come together, there's no stopping what we can do.
Ain't no stopping us, no way. So now, what is going on? Was there some recent news regarding temporary protective status for Haitians?
Yes.
So talk to us about
the
that.
Haitian Bridge Alliance led a campaign over a year to really push for temporary protective status for Haiti because of what's happening in the country. But we have over 500,000 undocumented Haitians in the United States, and they were displaced because of U.S. foreign policy in Haiti, because of the gang violence, the political turmoil. That is, in reality, when we trace back the weapons and the ammunition straight to the United States. Right. And when we see deportation of people also as a type of anti-Black racism, anti-Black violence, when you deport people from the United States to a country that we continue to push into destabilization, right? History of destabilization, 200 plus years of history of making sure that Haiti as a country, for what Haiti represents as a Black nation, is unacceptable to the world. And we have to understand that history. We have to ground that into the fact that these are the reason that people are displaced. These are the reason that people of Haitian descent are coming to the border. And these are the reason why we also have to welcome them with compassion, dignity, and love, and center that into Black liberation.
Yeah. So So to be clear, some of those who are here, is this the right terminology? Actually, are seeking asylum from the violence back home in Haiti, right?
Asylum seekers.
Asylum.
They have fled due to political violence. A lot of people fled Haiti in 2010 after the earthquake
Right,
that killed
right.
over 300,000 people that day. So that was the first mass migration we saw after the 1970s, 1980s under the dictatorship of Duvalier. That was against backed by the US, right? It continued the same principle that we have here. But the second big wave of migration was after the earthquake. So we see natural disasters that can get into climate change and all of that. And then the third wave of migration from Haiti is due to the political turmoil that started really after the assassination of President Jovenel Moise, and continues today due to extreme violence, extreme human rights abuse, and where we find ourselves in this abyss of the unknown.
So when people look at Haiti, and we know what Trump called Haiti,
Yes.
but as you just said, the question becomes, is the condition Haiti is in due actually to U.S. policy?
Absolutely, and we can go into even deeper than that. And I shared earlier is when we take what the Clinton administration did, when we have a complete destruction of the rice farming in Haiti, because we had rice farmers in the United States, in Arkansas, who had surplus of rice, and they needed a dumping ground for it. And so what President Clinton did at the time, they took the surplus rice from the United States, they dumped it in Haiti, and completely destroyed the rice farming industry, what was the backbone of the country. And now they completely eliminate it. So now we have a country that's unable to feed itself. Right, and then we have also the destruction of the Haitian Creole pigs, because we also had excess surplus of pork in the US. We needed a place to dump it. We dumped that in Haiti. Then completely destroyed that sector as well. So we created the perfect storm for Haiti to be in a dependency upon other countries. When Haiti, a small island country, that was the richest colonies, becoming the most impoverished country because of how the West continues to use and destabilize. So what we see in Haiti is a direct connection to U.S. foreign policy vis-a-vis politics, vis-a-vis race-based relations, and vis-a-vis dumping whatever we don't want here into Haiti and creating famine.
What is the economy there now? What is it? What is the industry? Or what is
non-existent?
So literally, so what can you get a job in Haiti? Is there
almost not? And let me share something with you so people can understand. I remember I was born in Haiti.
Yes, ma'am.
And I remember my dad took me to a supermarket and he was looking for ketchup. And the young person who was working there came in and said, sir, I'm sorry. We don't have Haitian made ketchup. We really apologize. We have this imported one. Will it be okay for you to purchase it? That is how the pride of Haitian product was. To the point where right now, nothing is being made in Haiti. Nothing. We are 100% depending on outside food. And we have a movement now, if you hear about the canal that is being built, taking water from the Massacre River, which is a river between Haiti and the Dominican Republic, where the Dominican really massacred people of African descent because they felt that they did not want to be black. And so
the Dominicans,
right. And now we have this movement that is really taking the water from that river to now create recreate the rice industry so people can feed themselves, right? So when we really look into those issues, we have to understand why, how, and where we are, what has been happening to create the situation that we find ourselves in.
And you mentioned the Dominican piece because that's an issue too. You said they don't really want to be black. What is that about?
It's anti-black racism because you have to understand when enslaved people,
I mean, the same island,
the same island, the same people,
just speak two different languages.
two different languages because we have been colonized by different countries, right? It was all colonized by Spain, all colonized by French, then divided the country into the Spanish Haiti and the French Haiti, and then when we fought for independence, we actually reunited the islands into one banner. Interestingly enough, currently today, the Dominican Republic, they see the true independence as colonization for them because they want to be associated with Spain instead of Africa.
Oh my God.
So that and that's where the anti-black racism, the self-hatred comes in. But we see a movement between young people that are really reconnecting and claiming the Africanness and pushing against those false narrative that continues to plague the
young
island.
People in Haiti or young
people in the Dominican Republic coming together with young
Good.
people in Haiti
Good.
to recreate who we are as a people, with the shared values, shared background, shared identity. But really, when we see Haiti is identified with blackness, with Africanness, and we see the other side of the island identified as the Spaniards, as the colonizers, instead of really embracing who we are as a people.
Now, a couple of things, and I'm gonna let you go because I know you've been spending a lot of time with other folk here. I saw you spend more time with the other hosts, and I was a little jealous.
I'm all yours. I'm all yours now.
And your fellow Caribbean brother who's talking trash,
yes.
Alberto.
Yes.
I told her she spent more time with y'all than me.
I'm all his now.
She spent more time because I'm not Caribbean. I guess because I'm not Caribbean, but it's all good.
But let me tell you something. What you just said, right? And I think that's the big misunderstanding.
Come on.
And the reality is, I don't know what your background. We're born here, and family trace back to.
Well, I can tell you.
Yes.
And we were having this conversation the other day. Remember when Kamala first ran for president? You had the online trolls. Mm-hmm. She's not a real African American, and because she's Jamaican. Mm-hmm. But a lot of people in this country don't know. Most of us came from West Africa to the Caribbean first.
Yes.
So my paternal ancestry, you mentioned Cameroon.
Yes.
Is Mbenzele and Bamileke from Cameroon. Mm-hmm. That's on the paternal side.
Yes.
On the maternal side, it is Mende, which is now in Sierra Leone.
Yes.
But I know those folk had to, that was the port. The only difference between you and me is that they put me back on the boat. My folks back on the boat.
Yes. It's even more than that, right? Because the reality is, and that's a true story. There are twin sisters who were on a boat coming, and they were sold to different masters. One was sold, to a master in the Caribbean. One was sold to a master in South Carolina. When the one in South Carolina was misbehaving, she was sold to how they sell people from master to master. And she was sold to that master in the Caribbean. And that's how they were reunited.
Yes, that's right.
And that's why I am calling for this family reunification. Because your great-great-great-grandfather was probably the twin brother of my great-great-great-grandfather.
Lord have mercy.
Who was separated. Now we have lost touch. That doesn't mean we are no longer family. It simply means we need to find ourselves.
That's right. When I got to Ghana, I go to Cape Coast Castle.
Yes.
And the children in there selling the goodies. Mm-hmm. And I was emotional. And then back home where we little girl comes up to me and she starts, so I say, young lady, what is your name? She's about 10 years old. Mm. She said, my name is Elizabeth. And I said, that's interesting because that's my mother's, my grandmother's, and my great-grandmother's names. And you know what the little 10-year-old said to me? She said, they may be my grandmothers too. Took me out. I just was bawling after that.
Yes.
So no, you're right. We got it. And that's what disappoints me about some of our Dominican sisters and brothers. You know, obviously I'm not Dominican. You know, we raised my son in the Bronx. We went to a baseball tryout for a team. When we got there, we didn't realize it was only for Dominican nationals. But then the coach looked at me and my son, and my son's darker than me.
Yes.
And the coach looked at him, winked. He said, "Why don't y'all be Dominican today to try out for this team?" I was like, "Okay, if you Cuban."
Absolutely.
You know, it was a Cuban team. It was Cubans. They looked at my son. Okay, well, you can be Cuban. So we really got to understand that. So, but I want to go back for a second. You mentioned the way the United States with the pigs, with the pork and the rice have undermined the economy. But you also mentioned the West. Are there other countries in Europe and other places that are doing those same things to the economy?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. When we look at the Congo, right, and we look at Sierra Leone and many African, how do we have the richest continent in the world and having poor people unable to eat?
All the resources in the world in Africa.
All of the resources, but all the resources are being used to enrich France and Portugal and the United States and all the former enslaved, all the former colonizers, which continues to colonize the mind. We have been able to break free from the chains that they put in our necks, in our hands, and our feet. But now they have continued to find ways to put that in our minds. How do we make sure we decolonize our mind to be able to stand against those powers and create world change?
Yeah.
When we look at Africa, when we look at the Congo, people cannot eat. But the resources that we are using here with our cell phone, with our hybrid cars, it's all coming from the Congo. How do you explain that?
How do you feel about it? These are obviously becoming necessities for us. These computers, these all this stuff we use, y'all, comes from minerals in Congo, coal time.
Yes.
And we depend on this now. But how does that make you feel to know that these comforts that we have, this technology that we use, is costing our people their lives?
Well, it's awareness. Because the reality is the abuse. Those people should be compensated for providing us the comfort that we have.
Right.
But that's not the case. They continue to be killed and taken away from.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. The problem is not the fact that we are able to use those things. It's the conditions that have been created to literally steal and hold for the West and take from Africa, take from those people, that they continue to die without the support that we need. And that is why when we call for a diaspora, for a Black family reunification, it is to make sure we understand our part in the struggle and how we make sure that we support each other, whether we are in Haiti, in Cuba, in Jamaica, and in the motherland.
So calling for that. So that's an initiative. That's a something you're trying to organize.
Yes.
Tell us about that, the Black family reunification.
The Black diaspora, the Black family reunification is basically what I just shared with you. Because we have been separated doesn't mean we are no longer family.
But I mean, what's the process?
The process is really to understand the very basic. I have reached out to many people within the African diaspora, but really want to start that in the US because of the misunderstanding and misconception and the disconnect that we have with Africa, with the Caribbean, and not seeing other Black people as a part of ourselves. There's a movement in the United States that is othering other Black people. When we talk about the reparation movement, and what people don't understand is that the reparation movement started in Haiti.
That's right.
And for example, when we take President Aristide, the reason why the United States literally removed him from power is because he dared to speak of reparation from France, reparation from the United States for the colonization and the invasion and the occupation of Haiti and Black people.
I hosted Aristide.
Yes.
When he was first exiled here.
Yes.
And then, there was a time he was going to be restored.
Yes.
I'm at the airport. We're going back there for the restoration.
Yes.
And then the thing broke out again and we couldn't go. So I was involved in all of that. And that
you probably know my dad because when Aristide was running for president, he will stop at our house on
What's
the
your
way
father's
to
name?
Kiskov, Roger Joseph, and we lived in
What's his first
Thomasina.
name?
Roger,
Then
Roger, Roger.
that name
Yes,
sounds
because
familiar.
when he will be going to Kiskov, and that he will stop there to really organize and share that brilliance that was really not in favor of the powers of the world. Because how dare you come talk about reparation and reparation from France, repayment from France, also reparation from the United States vis-a-vis what has been happening due to the invasion and occupation
Wow.
in 1915, 1920, 1930.
This is an amazing story. Lastly, and I'm gonna say something to her, but you didn't tell me she was this good. She bad. You didn't tell me she was this good.
Oh, she's great.
I mean, she didn't broke it down.
Oh yeah.
So we got Haiti,
Yes.
Panama, and little old me here. So she's talking about us reuniting
The diaspora.
the diaspora and remembering where folk came from. Last thing before we go, I don't like that term, temporary protective status, because it is
No.
temporary, right?
Yeah.
18 months. Your life is in limbo for 18 months. And the
And you have
crazy
to keep
thing
getting
is
it extended.
and you have to keep fighting to keep it to extend. Let me share something
Okay.
really quick with you.
Okay.
When it came to the Ukrainians, with the war broke into the Ukraine, and we, the Haitian Bridge Alliance, and other organizations at the border received over 20,000 Ukrainians within a couple of weeks.
Yes.
Within that first week, the United States government put in place temporary protected status without them asking. They put it in place. They were received with dignity and compassion. Our president flew to the Polish border to welcome little white boys, little white girls, holding them, looking at them in the eyes and say, I am here for you. I'm going to protect you. I'm going to care for you. But never set foot at the US-Mexico border when we have little Haitians that are being whipped under a bridge by men
Officers
in
on
uniform in the United States.
Mm.
Never apologized, never tell those little black boys and little black girls that they are seen and they are loved, they are cared for. So when I say the anti-black racism is at the root of everything that we see, and black migrants, black people in general, continues to be at the receiving end of the violence that have been created.
You mentioned the guns and the bullets.
Yes.
What is that about? That they're being just taken down there and given away? How are they getting there?
They are being sent from the United States. They don't
Just sent
they
for
don't
free?
fabric. So there is a whole obviously system. I remember the first time I asked the questions, right? Because when they say there's this game, there's this that, yeah, but how are they being funded?
Yeah, right.
And how we don't make guns in Haiti,
Right.
we don't make bullets, but they were able to literally trace all of that back to the United States.
That is
Right.
a very important point that nobody likes to talk about.
And nobody wants to talk about it.
How can these poor countries have all the arms and the bullets if they're poor?
Ain't got no food, no job.
And have no
we got
food.
guns and bullets.
You have to ask the question, and that is something that never gets spoken about.
And the other thing is easy when we destroy the rice farming industry, we destroy the poultry industry, we destroy the pig industry, and then we're trying to destroy the peanut industry, right? And peanut is the staple of after school snacks and in
Right.
between. And the Haitian peanut is only in Haiti and is native to the land, so that's what people use. A few years ago, there was a big campaign because we had surplus peanuts in the United States, and they chose Haiti to bring it to. And I had to step up and say, I don't understand. Because once you do that, two things happen. Not only do you destroy the farming industry, now you bring the hybrid. Now you bring the hybrid seeds from the United States, making them dependent from the U.S. international peanut.
Because many of those seeds only have a one cycle life that they point out. Some of these seeds have one cycle. In other words, after they grow, the seeds that come from them are not then growable, or they come and they hit you with the patent laws that says The seeds that you're using here is based on patents. My brother, I have to go. Yeah.
And
Yes,
we
thank
we
you.
got to talk to you about Panama at some point.
Okay,
too,
we will.
Yes.
We will.
because all our countries are suffering.
It is. It is.
I want to add one thing. This is why we listen to channels like our brother Mark here.
That's why we
Because
listen to him.
this
too.
is
We gotta be in touch.
education. This is education that you won't find on MSNBC, ABC, CBS. They're good channels, but you won't hear
It's
the
not.
full
It's not in their
information.
news cycle.
Right.
We don't hear anything about the news going on. I mean,
Thank you, my
what's
brother.
going on in the
Thank
Congo
you.
should be on TV every day.
Yes,
And we don't.
absolutely.
In the Sudan, we don't hear nothing about none of that.
Absolutely.
So I said I was going to let you go. But one more thing. So as you talk about the guns,
Mhm.
so are we also saying that some of the same guns and ammunition are in Africa too? In
Oh
terms,
yes,
okay,
it's the same gun that is in South Central, the same gun that is in the heart of the unprotected communities in Chicago.
hmm
The same ones are ending up in Haiti. The same ones are ending up in the Congo and places. So the reality is we continue to not understand the connectivity and the intersectionality in blackness around the world and how they continue to use that. So what we are dealing with gun violence in the inner cities in black communities in America, we are seeing that being replicated around the world.
you something else. I like you.
I like you.
You still have your father? Is your father still alive?
Yes,
Where is he?
he's in New York.
Okay.
He's still pushing. We actually just opened a center that I have named after him,
Oh wow.
the Delia and Joseph Roger Joseph Center. Really building the bridges with the Black diaspora, bringing immigration as a Black issue, a social and racial and economic issue, so that we can all continue to push. Because at the end of the day, there's no me without you,
Mm.
and there's no you without me.
That's right. That's right. That'll preach. Now, the temporary status. So that's extended for 18 months.
So
You got to do it
for
again.
18 months, we have literally six months from now. I have to roll my sleeve and put my big girl undergarment on to start to fight again.
So
And we didn't only do it for Haiti. We did it for Ethiopia. We did it for Cameroon, and we are continue to push for the Congo. Right now, we are in the fight for lives for our Congolese brothers and sisters and families and siblings. At the same time, Mauritania, which is literally one of the very few countries that still have slavery in the country. So we are pushing for at least protection for Cameroon, which we won, protection for Ethiopia, we won, protection for over 500,000 Haitians, we won, but we are still in the fight for the Congo, DRC, and Mauritania. And we are also looking at Honduras, where we have a large Afro Latinx community. That is something we don't talk about.
yeah. We have more of those in places than we want to acknowledge. And again, that's part of the racism. They don't want us to acknowledge.
Mhm.
They don't want us to do that. Is it true in 1992 when Daddy Bush, would not grant TPS, temporary protective status, to Haitians? That's a big ugly thing. And that was on the news every day. That was the news story. So a lot of times these other stories knock us off the front page.
Yes.
But that was the only thing that was going on.
Yes.
He would not let, and the Haitians were trying to come, and he was sending them back, straight drama, all on TV every night. And that was the time when, because that was, see, when people know they're empathetic, they're like, wait a minute, what y'all doing these people?
Mhm.
Wouldn't let the Haitians in. So the word is that the Haitian, you know,
Yes. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about
I
how.
had to finish it. You know what it is?
Let's talk about how the anti-black racism, when the HIV/AIDS pandemic
Uh-huh.
was literally at the heart of society, and they were looking, they couldn't find it. And we have the CDC, our dear Dr. Fauci, come out and said, we discovered it's 4 H's. And of the 4 H's, one is Haitian.
Mm.
And that was one of the reasons why they were caged in Guantanamo Bay. Caged like sardines, and experiments were made on black bodies in Guantanamo Bay, Cuba. That's why right now we are fighting the US government, because our dear president came out a year ago and said we are going to reopen Guantanamo Bay to recage Haitians. Not all immigrants, not the immigrants from Ukraine, but the Haitians need to be recaged in Guantanamo Bay. So
So
we
that
are
is
we
going
are
on now.
right now we are pushing against the encagement, the imprisonment.
And what's the justification for that? What's the argument for that?
Oh, because they can. It's literally a mind-boggling, and we are pushing against that because we were that close to bringing.
Come on, Bessie.
We were that close to bringing and caging Black people in Guantanamo Bay because our humanity is not valued.
You're right. But no, I was going to ask you: is it true that the Haitian popular or some Haitians put something on Bush so he would lose? You know, I don't mean. And is that offensive if somebody says that y'all can put something on people? Is that offensive?
Look, I wish I could put some on people.
But is that a thing? Can y'all like really do that? Because I hear.
Look. That we get into.
I had somebody put something on me once, but she wasn't Haitian.
We get into spirituality, right? It depends on what they put on you too. But you know, and again, that is the vilification, because the Haitian religion, the voodoo, is seen as being evil,
right?
Simply because it's Black.
That's right.
And I know my dear sister here is Jewish.
Right.
When you have the Jewish priest, they take a chicken, they break their neck, and they have the blood, and they do what they do. It's they are worshiping. And the Haitians take the same darn gone chicken.
Right. And then
they do the exact same ceremony.
Right.
Now it's evil.
Voodoo.
Right. But what people don't understand.
The literal translation of the term voodoo. Yes. Tell me, because I think I heard that before.
Please share.
I don't know. That's why I need you to remind me. Mm-hmm. What is the literal translation when we say is it Creole, VOU?
No, it's African.
It is.
So it is.
Yes. Okay.
It is West African religion that is based in West Africa. It is the same voodoo we have in Louisiana.
It's not a bad word.
It is not, but because it's Black, then it's bad.
Right,
it is associated with Blackness, then it becomes a thing. It's the same as Santeria in many South Central America that is practiced primarily by people of African descent. But once it's Black, it's bad. Blackness being associated as evil and impure. Right. That is what we continue to see, and right now there is a movement to really push into the idea of the blonde hair, blue eye Jesus, which we know that's not the reality. But you go tell that to the church. Right. You go tell the church that Jesus is not white. That's a whole different story. But voodoo itself.
Well, I'm in the church, so you know, because I be trying to tell people.
Yes, and voodoo itself is, in essence, the purest of religion.
Right.
Because it speaks to the essence of humanity.
Come on.
To the essence of freedom.
Come on.
To the essence of, hey, no, you can't own me.
Well, see, and
I am my own person.
And see, that's what I'm saying. Some of the infighting, because we have people. Aren't there people in the Dominican that practice Santeria?
Santeria is the same.
That's Yoruba.
Do
they know that?
When they want to, they do.
Okay, all right.
That's why I said there is a movement. You know, it's never to generalize groups of people.
Right.
But there is a movement that is pushing for Afrocentric narrative and identity in the Dominican Republic and many other countries around the world.
I'm glad to hear
that is happening. It's happening. It will continue to happen. Resistance is a thing. Anti-Black racism is global, and white supremacy continue to lead the way. That's why you and I must continue to come together and call our family, whether it is in voodoo, in whatever it is. But when you grow up in Black church, right? Mm-hmm. And I grew up in Black church, and when we say God is good all the time, God is good. But the way we worship in the Black church, that's a whole different story.
Right. But and that's
because
okay.
we bring our essence. We bring what we have learned with the drum, with the clapping of hands.
And we gotta have, ultimately, culture is local.
Yes.
So we have to have the freedom. Why can't we be like everywhere? White man went and did everything he wanted to do everywhere in the world.
Yes.
You know, I was introduced recently to, I guess, a Black Haitian church here in the States,
Mm-hmm.
and the sister gave opening prayer, and the opening prayer was 90 minutes. I know you're talking about. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
And I was like, wait a minute, is she still? I walked away from the stream for a minute. Came back. I said, is she still on the same prayer? She said,
She's
"I'm
the
still on the
same prayer.
So, but this is all right, folks. We all and in that community, in that space,
Yes.
everybody was into it.
Oh yeah.
You know, but that is what local culture is all about, and we need to be about that and support that.
And I tell my Haitian parents, I'll go to church with you, but I'll only be there for 1 hour. But I'm American.
Because you know, y'all heard it.
And they have food, they have the
90-minute
whole thing.
Invocation.
just the invocation.
Justification.
Yes,
90 minutes.
Yes.
Gone.
Yes.
But it was all good.
Yeah.
Look, how can people support the work that you're doing?
Yes, we welcome you to really join us in the work that we do in centering immigration as a Black issue, immigration as a social, racial issue, because it is necessary, right? So we welcome you to go to HaitianBridge.org and to join us to share what you think. How can we recreate or push our families to be together, and really looking into that, into the food that we eat, the way we dance, and the drums. I hear the drums, I'm gone, right? And I don't care if it's
Hey,
Bula Island
hey,
or in Haiti
hey,
or wherever it is.
hey.
That is part of who we are. Let's not lose ourselves in the assimilation of what white supremacy want us to be. Let's go back to the basic.
Mm-hmm.
Let's make sure when I see you and I do this,
Yeah,
we know what we say.
we know what we're saying.
We
Lord
know
have
what
mercy.
we say. We know what we say.
Does the Haitian Bridge Alliance have a website?
It's www.haitianbridge.org.
HaitianBridge.org. I want us to continue to work. So now, where are you? Are you based in New York too, or?
I am in California, believe it or not. We are
Okay.
in San Diego, but we are a nationwide organization with members and staff in Florida, in New York,
Okay.
in Georgia, in Massachusetts. So we really want to center immigration as a Black issue and pushing against the false narrative that we see and hear, and making sure that Black people take space wherever we go, baby.
That's beautiful. Give us the website one more time.
Our website is www.haitianbridge.org.
You notice how your sister stood up. She must be ready to go. Now, you didn't stand up for none of these other people that I'm talking to, and you were going to stand up and give me the signal like it's time for us to rap. You see that?
Yes.
She stood up
She's
like,
probably hungry.
she got it. And then wouldn't make eye contact with me. She's got herself together. No, she talking to everybody else. I can't stand talking to me. We talk all day. You got somewhere you got to be. You need. She gonna see somebody? What she would?
No, she. I told you she's a wiggly worm. Remember, I was looking for her. She
And I
disappeared.
had to help her look for you. You would keep you don't stay still. She was looking for you. Where's my? She got my. You took a phone. And she even her name tag is the same, so she's impersonating you too. I see.
You know how it is.
Did she live in California too?
She's here. She's here in Maryland.
Okay.
She did Silver Spring.
Okay,
Yes.
all right. So
she's
we cut. I'm
local.
sorry we cut into your schedule. I apologize.
She's in Silver
Let's go
Spring.
wrap this up.
You know, she's amazing. It's interesting because I live in California, but I'm here a lot. And the reason
live
I'm
in the most
able to
beautiful
do
climate
that
in the world,
it is beautiful.
You ain't suffering too much.
Oh,
That's a good place to
but
organize.
I'm telling
San
you,
Diego.
that's why I can't leave. And people say, you moving? I say, I
No,
could
you
move,
can't.
but where do I go?
You can't go back to no snow and no stuff like that.
I fled New York because I
Couldn't deal.
I love the community, but I cannot do the cold.
Gerlene Joseph, folks, HaitianBridge.org.
Thank you.
Y'all follow. Y'all got a donate button on there. She probably needs some money.
Yes,
Give us some
please.
money.
Oh, we need
You
some
need some
money.
money?
Oh, we
Send us some
definitely
money.
need
She's
money.
doing important work trying to bring diaspora together.
Yes, bringing the diaspora together and really highlighting
Y'all got some money. Send us some money.
Send us some money,
Y'all
y'all.
got some money. Send us a couple dollars.
Yeah.
I don't ever Roland asks y'all for money every day. I don't ask y'all for no money. So the money you ain't sending me, you can send to.
Yeah, and save a
Haitian
life, save a life. So currently, with the TPS for Haiti, we really need to raise some money so that people can apply for. You
It costs money to apply. How much does it cost?
It's $495 per applicant. So yeah, no, nothing is free. That's what we tell folks at the same time. And the misunderstanding of the impact and the contribution of undocumented immigrants is that whatever they put into the coffin, they will never get back.
So for each community,
For each person, it's $495.
but let me ask you this: for each TPS status or TPS, each nationality has their own. Each country.
It's based on country conditions.
And so they're staggered, I'm sure. So you
Yes.
got to fight for Haiti, you got to fight for Cameroon.
Oh yes, I fight for. It literally is a continued fight. We got for Cameroon, we got for Ethiopia, we got for Venezuela, we got for Haiti, and we continue because it expires every 18 months, and it's like you say, it's not one time
One
frame.
at a time, right?
Is
So you're constantly trying to get this renewed.
constantly. There's no break in between.
Is there any measure that can be taken to end the temporary nature? Like, is there something they could do to say, okay, this is no longer temporary, y'all just here?
That's what we need Congress to do.
What would that be? What would that be called?
They will have to do a permanent protection.
Permanent protection.
For people who have been here. What people don't understand, they could have been here for 30, 20, 10 years undocumented, paying into Social Security that you and I will be able to access, but they will never be able to benefit. They just pay into it and never receive anything. So it is important that we fight for permanent protection for undocumented people, so that they can have this reprieve, so they cannot continue to live under those conditions. Their lives are not temporary.
Gerlene Joseph with us, folks, HaitianBridge.org. This has been incredible. Let's stay in touch. Don't go far. I'm going to give you my information.
Yes,
I'm going to
sir.
sign
Thank
out of
you
this.
so much.
Y'all, I hope you have learned from this. It's always invigorating when we talk about the diaspora. We talk about what Dr. Clark, John Henry Clark, called the African world. And we've got to do this. And let us know as these temporary protective statuses come up.
Yes.
Because we used to, I used to mobilize people around that stuff. But then nobody talks about it anymore. Nobody's interested. We got to make this stuff the priority again.
Priority. Stop deportation. Before I go,
come on.
That will literally
I'm good.
blow
It's
your
your sister over
mind.
here that wants you to stop. I'm good.
That will blow your mind.
Yeah.
So we a few months ago we had two flights to Haiti, two planes landing into Haiti, 30 minutes apart. One was a rescue plane to rescue U.S. citizens from the U.S. Embassy. One was a deportation plane that had asylum seekers sending them back to Haiti. Think about it. Two planes, 30 minutes, one rescue because it's too dangerous for U.S. citizens to be on the ground, and the other one deporting extremely vulnerable men, women, pregnant people back to Haiti at the same time. So that is what we are dealing with. That is what we are fighting, because when we say Black Lives Matter, those are Black lives that do not seem to matter to the people in power.
HaitianBridge.org, folks.
Thank you so much.
All right, she's coming, sis. We finished.
Well, we're coming. I'm okay.
Bless you, bless you.
How do we get?
I'm gonna sign off. We appreciate you joining us live here from Netroots. I'm gonna probably get ready to get out of here. We do this every year. You're gonna be hearing more from this sister and all the other great guests we've had here at Netroots Nation 2024. So we thank you. Don't forget HaitianBridge.org. Thank you for joining us.